Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's show. We will be discussing the controversial carbon tax song sung by the Jackass. He claims that Canadians will benefit more than what they pay. Let's tune in and listen.
Everyone seems to be talking about the price we've brought in on pollution. Nobody is talking about the Canada carbon rebate that puts more money in the pockets of 8 out of 10 families across the country.
It seems like no one else is addressing this topic, so the Jackass has taken it upon himself to do so. Let's continue.
We are putting more money in their pockets 4 times a year with the Canada carbon rebate, and we're going to continue to do that.
As mentioned earlier, he's been repeating this claim for quite some time now. I've noticed a pattern when the Jackass keeps singing the same tune. It's usually to divert attention from something else. I wonder what that could be.
And the Canada carbon rebate helps out 80% of Canadians with more money than they pay in terms of a price on pollution. It's basic math.
The Jackass insists it's basic math, but I recall he's had some trouble with basic math in the past.
I have a slight learning disability. What that means is I have an inability to handle small numbers and little calculations, those easy things that people do so well.
It doesn't sit right with me that he expects us to believe his calculations. On a separate occasion, the Jackass mentioned having evidence to support his claims.
Our price on pollution puts more money in the pockets of 8 out of 10 Canadian families in the backstop provinces. This is a fact recognized by the Parliamentary Budget Officer.
I believe it's time to fact-check those claims. Here comes the tax falcon officer he referred to. Let's listen in.
Parliamentary Budget Officer Yves Giroux is with me now in studio live. Mr. Giroux, great to see you.
Likewise.
The female press bird asks the falcon about the 2 questions he examined regarding the carbon tax.
2 questions. So we looked at whether households, on average and by quintile, so by segment of 1/5 of the household by income, whether they would pay more in carbon taxes than they would receive in federal rebates for the carbon tax.
He then gets straight to the point, are we better off with the carbon tax or without it?
My answer to that is that we are likely to be worse off collectively because of the carbon tax and its economic impacts.
The falcon's response doesn't quite align with the Jackass's song.
That puts more money in the pockets of 8 out of 10 families across the country.
We need to delve deeper into this. It seems like this press bird is working closely with the Jackass, attempting to steer the falcon's answers in a certain direction. He starts by inquiring about the physical analysis.
Now, in the fiscal analysis, that deals with how much I pay as a consumer and how much I get back in rebates. What does that analysis show broadly about how it affects Canadians?
Oh boy, the falcon looks like he wants to eat the press pigeons.
Broadly speaking, it shows that most households will be receiving at least as much as they pay in carbon taxes.
The press bird seems thrilled with the answers. Oh my, I think he just laid an egg. Let's see if he can extract more information from the falcon.
What's the net out of that? How does that affect Canadians overall by 2030?
The falcon explains that the carbon tax will primarily affect big businesses who will then pass on the costs to us consumers.
It is expected to have significant impact on the economy as a whole, but also on specific sectors. So once we take that into consideration, we find that most households will be worse off with a carbon tax than they would be without a carbon tax.
The press bird doesn't seem pleased with this response. It looks like he may haven't laid his egg. That's not a sight you want to witness, ladies and gentlemen. Based on the information we've just witnessed, it's clear that implementing a carbon tax will actually leave us worse off than without it. We've also stumbled upon an unsurprising discovery. The Jackass is full of manure. That's why he's got dung beetles following him around. Oh wait, those are his cabinet members. But jokes aside, let's consider a scenario if the Jackass raises the tax so high to achieve 0 emissions and everyone is broke. Even if Canada reaches 0 emissions, the top 3 emitters without a carbon tax will quickly offset any progress. I am a nature expert because I narrate nature shows. Let me tell you, In a zoo, we decided to bring together 3 gorillas and 1 chimpanzee in the same enclosure. They all enjoyed their McDonald's Happy Meals for lunch, but unfortunately, they are now experiencing some discomfort due to excessive gas from the Happy Meal. As a result, all 4 primates have started releasing flatulence in the room, creating an unbearable smell reminiscent of an unhappy meal. However, the chimpanzee, taking matters into its own hands, decided to hold in its fart. Realizing that the room already smells like an unhappy meal, died in a gorilla's backside. Did the chimpanzee make a difference? No, the room still smells like a gorilla's backside with a hint of an unhappy meal. The underlying message here, ladies and gentlemen, is that the earth will continue to smell like a gorilla's backside until all the gorillas put an end to their flatulence. Therefore, our conclusion is to axe the tax. Oh, that's catchy, right? I should make a shirt or something. Our time together is up for today, folks. Thank you for spending your precious time with me. If you've made it this far, why not hit that subscribe button? No tax on it, I promise. Thank you always and farewell, my friends.